News Services Division of All India Radio presents Northeast Diary.
Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Our listeners will be pleased to know that the world's longest river cruise, MV Ganga Vilas, reached Dibrugarh earlier this week. In today's edition, we will also talk about the unsung heroes of a freedom struggle from Arunachal Pradesh. The 19th Annual Conference of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association or CPA, India Region Zone 3 was organized at the Sikkim Legislative Assembly in Gangtok last week. The two-day conference deliberated on the issues of making the Parliament and assemblies more accessible to the public, drug abuse and way forward, and cyberbullying. A Sikkim correspondent has filed this report.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla inaugurated the conference, which was attended by Sikkim Chief Minister P.S. Tamang, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha Harivansh Narayan Singh, presiding officers of legislative bodies, MPs and MLAs among others. In his address during the conference valedictory session, Sikkim Governor Lakshman Prasad Acharya expressed hope that the deliberations will help in building a better society, suggesting creating awareness to curb drug abuse and cybercrime. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said that the outcomes and suggestions from the conference will pave the way for addressing the challenges of drug abuse and cyberbullying, and for enhancing citizens' access to parliament and legislatures across the country. He said the centre and the states can come up with legislations as well as strengthen existing laws to address drug abuse and cyberbullying. Mr. Birla informed that the IT is being used to integrate legislative processes from the states onto one platform, making it accessible to the youth. To encourage public participation in legislative processes, he suggested ideas and programs for the youth such as Know Your Constitution and gathering feedback from citizens on various policies, legislations and programs. He also highlighted the role of public representatives and all democratic institutions in creating mass awareness on cyberbullying. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association or CPA India region has the membership of 31 legislatures from the country. The CPA is divided into 4 zones and Sikkim is under Zone 3, which includes legislatures from Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. With Saikia Sarkar, this is Mukhopadhyay for AR News Sikkim.
In Mizoram, the just concluded budget session has passed the state budget for the upcoming financial year 2023-24. The session began on the 7th of February and concluded on the 28th of February. Since the 5-year term of the present government, led by the Mizo National Front, is scheduled to end in the last part of this year, it was the last budget presented by the MNF government. In this session, Chief Minister Zoramthanga, who also holds the finance portfolio, presented the annual budget with an outlay of 14,209.95 crore rupees. The general budget, along with the supplementary demand for grants of 3,265 crore rupees for the current fiscal 2022-23 were passed in the session. In this session, the state government has also submitted the State Economic Survey, according to which the state economy has witnessed 12.18% growth. More from a correspondent from Aizawl.
Mizoram's economy has been experiencing continuous growth at an impressive rate, with the tertiary or service sector leading the charge. As per the latest State Economic Survey 2022-23 placed by the Chief Minister Zoramthanga in the budget session last month, Mizoram economy witnessed 12.18% growth during the 2021-22 fiscal compared to the previous financial year. According to the survey, the service sector contributed the lion's share of over 50% to the gross state value added GSVA. It was followed by the industry sector at over 25% and the primary sector belonging to agriculture and allied sector stood at over 24%. The survey noted that the service sector that shares about 50% of the total GSVA clearly drives the economy of the state. However, it clearly remarked that a faster growth in agriculture and allied sector is necessary to increase the income of the farming population. The economic survey has also pointed out more than half of the state population is deriving the greater part of their income from agriculture and allied activities. For Northeast Diary with Subhashish Chanda, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Northeast Diary program, broadcast every Thursday at 5:30 p.m., brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. Don't forget to tune in.
The much-awaited Agartala-Akhora railway line connecting India's northeast with neighbouring country Bangladesh is in progress. 6 separate rail lines have already been laid up to 2 kilometres, which comprises 4-metre gauge and 2 broad gauge lines. A team of the construction company Ircon, led by its joint general manager Anirudh Prakash, recently visited the construction site.
बारिश के बाद क्या हम लोग यहाँ पर सॉइल बहुत वीक थी, तो हम लोगों ने ग्राउंड इम्प्रूवमेंट यहाँ पर किया है काफी, लेकिन अभी क्या है कि कंसोलिडेशन होता है सॉइल का, वो नेचुरल प्रोसेस है, वो लगभग 1 साल लेता है, तो थोड़ा सेटलमेंट हुआ है, कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ सॉइल की वजह से थोड़ा ट्रैक सेटल हुआ है, उसका काम हम लोग रेक्टिफिकेशन का काम शुरू कर देंगे, मार्च में ही शुरू करने की है, अब मार्च के एंड में अप्रैल के फर्स्ट वीक में हम लोग खत्म कर देंगे उसको ठीक करके.
While speaking to AIR News, Agartala, Anirudh Prakash said that after completion of the line from Agartala to Kolkata, total distance will be around 1600 kilometers.
अभी प्रोग्रेस तो काफी अच्छी चल रही है, 85% प्रोग्रेस हो चुकी है हम लोग की 31 जनवरी तक 85, और थोड़ा फंड्स की प्रॉब्लम है हमारे यहाँ, तो फंड्स लेके हमारा हेड ऑफिस सपोर्ट कर रहा है, तो हम लोग की उम्मीद है कि जून में तो जो टारगेट डेटेड उसमें तो मुश्किल है, लेकिन दुर्गा पूजा से पहले जो है उम्मीद है कि खत्म हो जाएगा हमारा काम सारा, उसमें ट्रेन कमीशनिंग करी जा सकती है.
The project is expected to be completed by this year, he added.
बांग्लादेश में अभी तो स्पीड पकड़ ली है, पहले थोड़ा स्लो था, लेकिन अभी स्पीड पकड़ ली है, अराउंड 65% वहां पर भी काम हो चुका है, 65% फिजिकल प्रोग्रेस अचीव हो चुकी है, दोनों सेम ही टाइम पे इनको खोला जाएगा, तो वो भी है कि दुर्गा पूजा के समय तक वो खुल जाएगा. ये ट्रैक का काम हम लोग मई के करीब हम लोग शुरू कर देंगे, ट्रैक लिंक का काम शुरू करेंगे और जुलाई तक खत्म करने की कोशिश करेंगे. उसके बाद थोड़ा एसएनटी का भी काम रहता है हम लोग का, वो रहता है सिग्नलिंग लिंक का, तो वो खत्म करके दुर्गा पूजा तक कमीशनिंग का हम लोग की उम्मीद है कि शुरू हो जाएगी. बांग्लादेश वही अक्टूबर तक है, जुड़ जाएगी, अक्टूबर तक जो है गंगा सागर तक हम लोग ट्रेन को ले जा सकेंगे.
The Agartala-Akhora railway line, once inaugurated, is expected to give a major boost to trade and commerce between India and Bangladesh. Joint General Manager Anirudh Prakash said,
2 कंट्रीज का ये प्रोजेक्ट है, इसमें गुड्स का जो मूवमेंट है, जो आपका पोर्ट कनेक्टिविटी है, वो होगी, इसकी वजह से थोड़ा पैसेंजर्स का इंटरेक्शन होगा, जाना आना आसान हो जाएगा. सबसे मेन है कि हमारा कलकत्ता से जो अभी त्रिपुरा घूम के जाना पड़ता है, वो बांग्लादेश क्रॉस करके वो डायरेक्टली जा सकते हैं, तो समय बचेगा. जो पहले अभी लगता है 42 से 45 आवर्स, वो लगभग 16 आवर्स से 20 आवर्स में कंप्लीट हो जाएगी जर्नी बाई ट्रेन.
The world's longest river cruise, MV Ganga Vilas, reached Dibrugarh earlier this week, concluding his 50-day river journey that began from Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh. During his journey, the cruise crossed 5 states, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal and Assam. It entered Assam on the 17th of February via Dhaka, Bangladesh. Ganga Vilas covered 3,200 kilometers across 27 river systems. During the journey, the onboard tourists visited 50 tourist spots, including World Heritage Sites, national parks, river ghats, and major cities like Patna in Bihar, Shahidganj in Jharkhand, Kolkata in West Bengal, Dhaka in Bangladesh, and Guwahati in Assam. The luxury cruise has 3 decks, 18 suites on board with a capacity of 36 tourists. The maiden voyage had 32 tourists from Switzerland signing up for the entire journey.
असम के डिब्रूगढ़ में ये वाकई यादगार पल हैं. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी द्वारा 13 जनवरी को वाराणसी से रवाना किया गया दुनिया का सबसे लंबा रिवर क्रूज एमवी गंगा विलास मंगलवार को अपने गंतव्य डिब्रूगढ़ पहुंचा तो यात्रियों का दिल खोलकर स्वागत किया गया। केंद्रीय बंदरगाह, नौवहन और जलमार्ग मंत्री सर्बानंद सोनोवाल ने गंगा विलास पर सवार होकर पहुंचे पर्यटकों की अगवानी की। डिब्रूगढ़ में हुए रंगारंग स्वागत समारोह में गंगा विलास के इतिहास रच देने की खुशी गूंजती रही।
अगले दिनों में हमारे जलमार्ग के जरिए व्यापार और हमारे अलग अलग संप्रदाय के बीच में हमारी रिश्ता, दोस्ती, सद्भावना और हमारी जलमार्ग में बचे हुए संपदा, शक्ति, संभावना को उजागर करने में ये बहुत बड़े कदम उठाएंगे, बहुत बड़े ये भूमिका निभाएंगे।
एमवी गंगा विलास की इस यात्रा का हिस्सा रहे यात्रियों ने अपने अनुभव को साझा किया। उनके शब्दों में सफर की यादों का खजाना चमक रहा था।
It was wonderful because we didn't expect that it's so exciting and that India is so friendly and warm-hearted, and now it's the journey is an end, and I'm a bit sad.
एमवी गंगा विलास की ये यात्रा देश की शानदार और समृद्ध विरासत से गुजरती हुई अपनी मंजिल पर पहुंची है। लगातार 50 दिन चले 3200 किलोमीटर लंबे इस सफर में सांस्कृतिक धरोहरों का नजारा भी साथ साथ चला। यात्रियों ने वहां के प्रमुख स्थलों को देखा और संस्कृति के रंगों से रूबरू हुए। एमवी गंगा विलास जिन प्रमुख स्थानों से गुजरा उनमें बनारस, बक्सर, छपरा, पटना, मुंगेर, सुल्तानगंज, कहलगांव, साहिबगंज, कोलकाता, सुंदरवन, ढाका, गुवाहाटी, काजीरंगा, माजुली, सवालकुची, पांडु, शिवसागर और डिब्रूगढ़ शामिल हैं। यहाँ की बेमिसाल सांस्कृतिक विरासत गंगा विलास के यात्रियों के लिए यादों का एक ऐसा तोहफा बन गई जो उनकी यादों में हमेशा महफूज रहेगी। 62 मीटर लंबा और 12 मीटर चौड़ा एमवी गंगा विलास 3 डेक और 18 स्वीट से सुसज्जित है। 36 पर्यटकों की क्षमता वाला एमवी गंगा विलास प्रदूषण मुक्त प्रणाली और शोर नियंत्रण तकनीक से लैस है। भारत और बांग्लादेश में 27 नदी प्रणालियों को पार करते हुए बांग्लादेश के रास्ते असम के डिब्रूगढ़ पहुंचकर संपन्न हुई एमवी गंगा विलास की यात्रा रिवर क्रूज टूरिज्म को बढ़ावा देने के प्रधानमंत्री के प्रयास के अनुरूप है।
A research team constituted by the Arunachal Pradesh government has recently submitted a report of the 10-month-long project on the unsung heroes of freedom struggle from Arunachal Pradesh. A coffee table book was also published on the research and was released on the occasion of the Statehood Day of Arunachal Pradesh on 20th of February. To know more about it, we met Professor Ashan Riddhi, HOD, Department of History, Rajiv Gandhi University in Doimuk. He is also the coordinator of the project under whom the research was done. Talking to him is Rakesh Dole.
Today we are with Professor Ashan Riddhi. We will try to know from Professor Riddhi on how the team laid out the research strategies and its modalities. Welcome to Northeast Diary Program, sir.
Thank you. This project was very important project, sponsored by the state government.
Okay.
And responsibility was given to Rajiv Gandhi University.
Okay.
And Rajiv Gandhi University entrusted this project to the Department of History. I being a head of department, I am the coordinator of this project. Since this is an area of the history, we followed the established historical method of doing research to find out these freedom fighters. First thing what we did is that we conducted the first workshop. In that workshop, and we formed the committee, subcommittee. We divided ourselves into 4 subcommittee, one from the western another from the middle one, another from the middle two, another from the eastern zone. We divided into the 4 group, and thereafter what we did, we formulated what should be the our strategy of doing research. We discussed that, and thereafter second method was that we made a pilot survey, and we gone to the community. We held a meeting. Meeting was organized by the district administration, attended by the intellectual, community leader, clan-based leader, academician, all over the area. And there we briefed our objectives of doing research. We told them this is our objective, and we took a feedback from those community. Basically, idea is to inform the community and get the lead information from there. And thereafter, what we did, we visited the institutions like National Archive New Delhi, West Bengal Archive Kolkata, Assam State Archive Dispur, the State Archive at Itanagar, even the Asiatic Society Kolkata. We visited Cellular Jail, Port Blair, to collect the colonial record, official document. And thereafter, we came back here and we spent more in those areas and with different groups. And thereafter, we made an extensive field work. We visited to the everywhere where there is a people who can tell us, and villages where the incident was happened, and place where the vehicle was put, place where this incident started, and we, with the consent of the respondent, and we interviewed the respondent, we videograph it, we audiograph it, so those are with us, and we collected this. This is called the oral narratives, oral history.
Sir, you say that oral history,
Yes.
that means basically the tribals of Arunachal Pradesh, we don't have scripts of our own, so
Yes, right.
So what happened, written literatures from the past, we won't find it, then things are passed on orally as legends.
Yes.
So doing research where we pass, which is at least some written literature, is always easy, comparatively. So, like oral communication tends to get, distorted in times, or just get exaggerated. So how challenging was it for your team in verifying the facts and bringing out the actual story of this?
Yes, as you said that the oral history, oral narrative gets distorted. So we do not totally or completely rely on the oral history. Oral sources has to be corroborated with the written sources. Therefore, we collected the books, articles, whatever published material available. You can see that lots of books are there related to that project, and we read that. And thereafter, what we did, we still were some kind of the incomplete kind of feeling was there. Then after we went to the United Kingdom, we stayed there for more than around a month, and we spent most of our time in British Library, and particularly in Asian and African section, and who collected lots of the information. Take example manuscript, then take example official correspondence, take example telegraph note, take example of parliamentary debate, take example of the map, take example of the sketch, take example of photograph. Lots of the information we collected. Not only from British Library, we visited the British Archive, British Museum, River Spitz Museum in Oxford also. And with those sources, we corroborated the oral sources. Thereafter, we come to the conclusion that these are the people who fought war against the British colonialism and attempted colonialism. And we have found in total 220 freedom fighters. And out of that, we categorize into the 3. First is a freedom fighter hero, second is a freedom fighter martyr, third is a freedom fighter. And this is our finding.
Well, then there must be lots of challenge doing this mammoth task. So can you share some of those which you and your team had to face while carrying out the project?
Challenges, what I found that there is a shortage of time. It could have been 2-3 years of the research project. And we had only hardly 10 months at hand. And we had to do the thing very hurriedly. And still I feel incomplete. Shortage of time. Second was this problem of language. As you said that if I go to the Wanshu and Nokte Kamti area, some of the elderly people, they were not able to communicate with us in Hindi or something English. They had to talk with us with their own language. Of course, translator was there, but still some gap I felt missing there. And second challenges was this official document. Some of the calligraphs British administrators have written, and beautifully written, but very difficult to read. We have not habit of that, and this is the one problem. And third problem is a photograph. photograph we have through online, we have acquired it, but without the description, they send it. So we are not able to find out which incident, what person that, who is that, and when it is related to what. It's another challenge. And this another challenge is the problem of this weather condition, and we have to do the research at the rainy and road blockade, so many things. It was the kind of this natural thing, but still it's a kind of obstacle. It was obstacle.
Among these heroes about whom you and your team had done the research work, who do you personally think is the most interesting and why? A single.
Sapap Langlu, Kamti Chief is very interesting.
Okay.
Kamti, Kamti occupied the Saikia of the Ahom, and they were ruling there. And Kamtis were dislocated by the British, and the Kamti chiefs were very unhappy, and they were angry over it, and they want to drive out the British. And therefore, in 1839, Kamti chief, under the leadership of Sapap Langlu, sometimes it's called the runaway, they flung and attacked the British outposts in the Saikia, and they killed the Captain Adam Wade and killed 80 British men. And thereafter the war started, and they fought a 4 years long war. And ultimately in 1843 they were defeated, and the Saikia was taken by the British.
Thank you for talking with us in Northeast Diary program.
Thank you.
You were listening to an interview with Professor Ashan Riddhi, HOD, Department of History, Rajiv Gandhi University in Doimuk. Talking to him was Rakesh Dole.
Northeast Diary, bringing you enchanting stories from the northeastern part of India. This program is broadcast every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on FM Gold and on our app News on AIR. We look forward to you walking this journey with us every week.
Let us take you all now to Kezakiano, a village in Phek district of Nagaland, which is a historical village of the Nagas. It is believed that most of the Naga tribes originated from this place, and the migration led them to the other parts of Nagaland. There is a rare natural slab stone at this very place known as the magical spirit stone So Tawo, which generates double folds if a basket of paddy was spread on it in the sunlight.
The magical spirit stone, So Tawo, is a magnificent spirited flat stone upon which if a basket of paddy is parched in the sun, it is believed to generate double fold in the evening. This is also the significant first settlement site of Koza, the famous ancestral forefather and from where various Naga tribes migrated later on. Mr. Kemdu Kittukaza shares more on the spirited stone.
Here, let me briefly share with you the legendary story of the spirited stone in Kezakiano village called Chotawo in local Kozale dialect. The first dweller named Koza was guided by a swallow bird to a flat stone whereby he witnessed a frog bringing a small bunch of rice and left it on the stone, which later in the evening the quantity of the rice which the frog left in the morning just doubled, and so on the stone began to produce double the quantity which was poured in the morning while collecting in the evening. So they used the stone for the same purpose daily. As civilization began to flourish, the descendants started to disagree among themselves on how to use the stone equally, which led them to quarrels and infighting. Seeing this, an old lady decided to burn down the spirited stone to prevent further differences. As the stone keeps burning, the stone bursts out. It has been told that since then, the spirit left the stone. The stone lies to this day as a living tale to many. It is located at Kezakiano, a village in the southernmost part of Nagaland, 49 kilometers away from the state capital, Kohima.
Although the charm of the stone is said to have gone as it was burnt and destroyed, the remnants of this legendary Kezakiano stone is still preserved in its original location even today. For Northeast Diary, this is Asunyo from AIR News, Kohima.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
And now let us listen to this beautiful Nepali song sung by Asha Bhosle and Denny Dangzongpa.
आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाए माया ना जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाए, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाए माया ना जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाए। उकाली को चिसो पानी खाइ जाउँ लाग्छ,
उकाली को चिसो पानी खाउ जाउँ लाग्छ,
ना खाइ जाउँ लाग्छ,
खाइ जाउँ लाग्छ।
हाँ
माथिल्लो घरको तरुनीलाई लैजाउँ लाग्छ।
हाँ आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाई माया ना जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाई, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाई माया ना जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाई।
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.
ताल सिमसरैमा धुम्सी लुक्ने दुलो, त्यही ताल सिमसरैमा धुम्सी लुक्ने दुलो,
बल्ल बल्ल पाको छोरो टाउको मात्रै ठुलो, आगे आगे तपाईँको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, आगे आगे तपाईँको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाई माया जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाई, सिगरेट जो मोबीड़ी खाने लाई माया जो मोहेड़ी जाने लाई, आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा, आगे आगे तो पैको गोला पाछी पाछी मशीन गन बहरारा। भक्ति होइन, भक्ति होइन, भक्ति होइन।
This program was presented by Abhishek Mukhopadhyay, scripted by Suparna Saikia, produced by Sharmila Goswami, and assisted by Kumar Gaurav. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.